Hello guys, welcome back again. Gbpusd here, and in today's video, in today's series, we will look on some pairs. How do we manage to take some of entries in some pairs in the previous week, but also this week. So today we will see how we manage to execute, how we manage to take the trade on Usdjpy, Xauusd, Gbpusd, Gbpnzd, and Usdchf. So let's start with this Gbpnzd pair, which was the very simple entry, but the reward was 103 pips, but also the risk was the only 14 pips. So let me show you how I managed to take this entry. First, we start by knowing the buyers. As we know that the market was trending up, and the market was provide this area of liquidity. This was the break of market structure. So after this break of market structures, you see here we had these multiple choices here. So we had this break of market structure at this point here we had this inside formation here. This was the first inside formation, but also we have the second inside formation, which was this one. But also inside this formation, you can see we have another area of liquidity, which was this one. So we can focus on this one and leave this one. So this will be our first priority, first area to look on. So this was the 1 hour time frame, but I confirmed this shift by using some of the criteria, some rules to verify because if you watch closely, you can see that after this breakout here, we had this breakout too. But why I trade this area but not this one? It's because of some rules. So my rules was guide me that I have to focus on this structure but not this one. So I just go back to the 15 minutes according to our time frame coordination, but not if you haven't watched my time frame coordination video, make sure you check it. And I'll try to leave the link in the description so you can check it. So when you go back down, you can see you have this liquidity engineering here, because we found this inside formation. This is the liquidity engineering that we found inside this structure that we marked for 1 hour. So let's try to refine it again to see if we can find another structure. You can see you have this structure here in the 5 minutes, and this structure is not yet consumed. So you can use that as you see this with the structure that is not yet consumed. But also you can see, let's try to measure a stop loss. Maybe try to measure a stop loss. Let's put maximum stop loss 15 pips, because when you try to refine this area, you won't see anything inside this area because there was no any liquidity. So this is where I took my entry from this Gbpnzd pair. So when you go back to the 1 hour time frame, because you use the 1 hour time frame as your cost, so you can put your entry mark at this point, put our entry mark at that point, and then we just put 15 pips, and then the take profit will be at the turning point. So let's see, the price turns from this point, so there will be our first take profit. You can see the market just came, take the entry, and then activate our take profit, as you can see. But if you put your take profit at this point, you can see you had the 105 pip. So that was the Gbpnzd pair, how we managed to take it. It was the very simple trade, and yeah, very simple technique was used. So that was the Gbpnzd, but also I had the buy from this point here. The buy from this point, it was the first reaction buy. You can see in the lowest time frame, I think it was the 15 minutes if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, you had this inside information here. So I just waited for the market to come to test this area, to test that area, and the market just did the same. As you can see here, after that buy, we had another buy at this point here with the same amount of stop loss, I mean take a profit, but the same amount of take a profit, but the first take a profit will be this maybe point here. We will see how the market will react, but what you can see is that the market just came. So this will be our take profit. You can use this area here, you can use this one, but also can see if you can see we just took the entry here from this point here to this point here. It was 79 pips. Very simple, very simple trade, very simple trade. So that's it for Gbpnzd. But the next pair was the Usdjpy pair. I took this trade. It was last week. Yeah, it was last week. Yeah, if I'm not mistaken, it was last week. How this price reacted, it was like this. We had this break of market structure at this point here. Let me show you. We had this break of market structure, this point. This was the break of market structure. This was the break of market structure. And what you can see is that inside this area, we were having multiple structures, but this is the first structure that we have. This was the first structure that we have. So we can use this as our first priority, our first area of liquidity that we have to consider. But when you go back to the 15 minutes, and also I confirmed this shift with some of my rules, so I know that the market will come to this point. But also we had one of the very more powerful setup on this structure. That's why we consider this structure. So when you go back to the 5 minutes, you can see that inside this area there was this structure here, this was the inside formation. But when you go back maybe to 3 minutes, maybe if you go back to the 3 minutes time frame, you can see that you still have this one. This was the, yeah, it's already taken. When you go back to the 15 minutes, you can see that you have this inside formation here. This was the inside formation, but also we have this structure here. So we can use this structure at the entry, and you don't have to refine too much. If you find the entry with the lowest amount of risk, just take it. You can see we only have 12 pips as the risky, so you can use that as the entry point. And when you go back to the 1 hour, you expect the market to come at that point to touch and then go. So what the price did, let's see. We put our entry mark at this point, and this was the risk. So the take profit will be at the first TP here. This is the first take profit. So you can see the price kisses and then moves. As you can see, the price moves. So that was how this Usdjpy pair give us the money. Yeah. So yeah, so let's move to another pair, which is Xauusd. In the Xauusd, I will talk about this structure here. This was the cell that I want to talk about. when you go to the, you can see here we had this break of market structure at this point here. We had this break of market structure at this point here. So when you cut the chart at this point, you can see that let me try to explain it. When you cut the chart, this was the break of market structure, and we have this structure as our first priority, so we can use this as the reference first. So let's go back to the 15 minutes according to our time frame coordination, and what you see is that we had this inside formation there, but it's already consumed, but not 50%. So if it's not 50%, we can still depend on it. So when you go back to 5 minutes, you can see that you are having this structure here. This was the inside formation. Still, this is the inside formation. You can see this is the inside formation. This is the inside formation. So you can just go back again to 3 minutes, and when you go back to 3 minutes, see you have this inside formation here. You have this inside formation here. So you can take it as the entry, or you can go back again to find if you find the highest point. So you can see, maybe go back to 30 seconds. So when you go back to 30 seconds, you can see this was the formation, this was the formation, but also you have this flip. This is the flip liquidity engineering. You can see by your own eyes the price just give us the flip liquidity engineering there. So I can use that, and that is where I use the that area to take the entry. So when you go back to the main chart, you just wait for the market to touch that point and then moves. So what you can see is that the market just came, then tapped, and the first take profit was this point. This was the first take profit, but the last take profit was this one. The price just moved about 164 pips, and the first take profit was 132 pips. So that was the gold. So after the gold, we have another pair, which is, let me talk about Usdchf first, and then I will move to this Gbpusd. So in the Usdchf, we have multiple entries. The first one was let me clear everything. The first one was this one. So this entry, I took this entry from the daily time frame. The first entry, I took the first entry from the daily time frame, and now I took this sorry, let me go back to this chart so that I can cut. The market has moved a lot. Yeah, the market moved a lot. You can see that we had this break of market structure here, the first break of market structure, and when you go back to the daily time frame, you can see also you have that structure. So that is where I start to consider this structure. This was the break of market structure, daily break of market structure. So once I had this break of market structure, just go back to the 1 hour to see what I can see. Because of the issue of DTOs and FTAs, I can see here that we have the market the market just said that we have to consider this area as the area of consideration. So just mark this area, and then let's go back down to the lowest time frame again. So let's cut this chart first to this point, and then when we go back to the 15 minutes, maybe let's see, we can see that we had this inside formation here which was not yet taken. But also when you go back to the lowest time frame to 5 minutes, maybe you can see still this was already taken, this was taken, this was taken. But when you go down to this point, let's try to refine this point here. So when you go back to the 30 minutes time frame, 3 minutes time frame, you can see you have this inside formation here. This is where I put my entry on Usdchf, the buy entry. So when you go back to the 4 hours or daily or 1 hour, that is where you have to wait for the market to come so that you can put your entry at that point. So you can we put our entry mark at this point, and as usual, our 15 pips, our 10 pips as the stop loss. So what you can see is that the market just leaves, and then after the breakout, the market just came to tap and then moves. So the first take profit was this area here. This was the first take profit. It was 86 pips. The risk was 10. So you can see it's a good ratio, but also the market moves about 200 and something. Now you can see, but after this break of market structure here, after closing our orders at this point, we see that we had another break of market structure at this point here. This was the break of market structure. That is the current break of market structure. But inside this area also, we had this inside formation. This is the formation that we have to consider. But also, after knowing this is the first area to consider, just cut the chart. Just cut the chart like this. Just cut the chart like this, and then go down according to time frame coordination. The 30 minutes. So when you go back to 30 minutes, you can see you have this liquidity engineering here. This was the simple compressive liquidity engineering, so you can use it. But also when you go back down again to the 5 minutes, you can see you have this structure here, which is consumed but not 50%. But when you try to refine at this point, let's try to cut the chart at this point. Let's go back down to 3 minutes here. 3 minutes, you can see we have this inside information, which is not yet taken. This was the inside information, which is not it's already consumed. So let's try to go back maybe to the 1 minute, sorry. Because okay, we had this structure here. So this is where I put my entry, and this entry was activated, I think was, let me show you. This was the first entry. This was the first entry. This was the first entry, and then the second entry is at this area here. So this was the first take profit. So let's see how the price just reacted. Let me play it. You can see this trade was activated in 3 May, Friday. It was a Friday. It was activated in 3 May. You can see. So if you put your entry at this point, and it was tapped like that, and the take profit was 90 pips. 90 pips, because you can see this was the support level. This was the support level, and the price breaks the support. So I know, if the market breaks the support, you can't wait for the market to touch at this point. You have first to take your take profit at this point here. The first take profit will be at this point first, and then if the market will break the zone, maybe it will break this high here, you can use the next high maybe here as your next take profit. So that was it for Usdchf. I hope you get something here. But also, let's try to finish with this Gbpusd pair. Gbpusd pair, we had these two moves. We have these two beautiful setup, beautiful entries. The first one was this one, and the second was this one. So let's talk about the first one first. When you go back to the daily time frame, this trade, I saw many traders, they just focus on 4 hours break of market structure. They focused on the 4 hours break of market structure. The 4 hours the break of market structure that I was talking about is this one. This was the break of market structure in the 4 hours time frame. But you have to know that this one was also the break of market structure, the daily break of market structure. You can see this was the daily break of market structure. So the price in the 4 hours time frame said that the price has been shifted at this point here. Let me mark this area with the red line. The market said that this price has been shifted at this point here. But also this area here is said that the market has been shifted on what? 4 hours. So when you go back to the daily time frame, you can see that you were having this shift, but this was not a shift. So to consider this area of liquidity, this 4 hours area of liquidity as your main priority was wrong, because the market didn't shift in the daily break of market in the daily time frame. So what I did is I just know that many people will react to this area of liquidity, and the market just came, let me show you, just came inside the area, gives them some hope, gives them some entries. At this point, the market makers just give these people 30 pips, 37 pips, and then after, the market just breaks the dawn and then come to react in the daily break of market structure. So this concept is very, 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 very powerful, but you have to know how to trade it and when to trade it. It is very, very powerful, very, very powerful. So you have to consider some concepts and some information that can guide you to trade that structure. So after knowing that this is the area that I have to to consider, just go back to the lowest time frame. It was the 30 minutes, and then let's go back to the 5 minutes. Then in the 5 minutes, you can see you have nothing. Then go back to so I took this entry in the flip liquidity engineering. So if you don't know about the flip liquidity engineering, just go back and review, or just go and ask your mentor why you don't know about the flip liquidity engineering concept. So it was the 30 second flip liquidity engineering. You can see here, if you know the flip liquidity engineering, you can see, but also if you know how to trade them, you can see that was the perfect area to use at the entry point. So when you go back to the 4 hours, you know that many people will be trapped at that 4 hours area of liquidity, but the market will come to the daily area of liquidity. You can see after that the market just came and then gave us the perfect entry ever. And now you see after that we had this was the 1 hour time frame. I took this entry, the second entry in the 1 hour time frame. You can see we had this break of market structure in the 1 hour time frame. After taking this entry, so you can just take the re-entry. So we had this structure in the 1 hour. We have the break of market structure, but also we have the multiple choices. But when you go back to the 15 minutes, let's cut this. Okay, let's cut this chart to this point here. You can see that you have these areas. It was this was the first one, second one, but also this one. So this was the lowest liquidity. So I just wait for the market to come at this point. So I know the market will come at this point. So what I did is just go back to the lowest time frame again. It was the, I think, 3 minutes, if I'm not mistaken. And in the 3 minutes, I found that we have that inside formation. Let's let me lock this one so that you can't move it. You can see you had that inside formation there. So I just took that as the main entry, and then the stop loss was lower. You can see even this one, this was the only six pips. So if you put your stop loss to this lower here, it was the 7 pips. So that is how I trade this Gbpnzd, this Gbpusd in the last week, but also this week. So we had that break of market structure, and we have that as the entry. So we are waiting for the market to come in the weekly area of liquidity. So thank you for being with me from the beginning of this video to the end. Please consider subscribe, share this video, like, leave your comment. If you like this video, just leave your comment. Tell me what to do. Tell me what you want to see in the next video. Thank you guys for supporting me. Thank you for everything. Wish you a good day.